The lesson today we have today is going to be based on spirits. In order for us to fight in these last days, we must understand the origin of spirits, where they come from, how do they work, and also how they use us as temporal hosts. Okay? So that's what I want to go into today. I want to, through the Spirit of the Most High, go through this lesson and show you the origin of spirits and how Christ, our Lord Yeshua, dealt with spirits. And also, when you get this understanding, you will appreciate the knowledge of fasting. Okay? Let's first start going into the origin. The origin of spirits, or what you would call, this world called demons. Okay, and we will use the Bible as well as the book of Enoch. And after that, after the lesson, we'll open it up for questions. Okay? All right. Matthew 17 is the one I'm looking for too. I have that. Also, with this particular lesson, it will give us an individual understanding to know when a spirit is actually attacking or using us. And that's key too. The heart is easy to look at someone else or look at a scenario from the outside and say, okay, it's clearly there's a spirit there. The hardest thing to do is to look within ourselves and say, okay, that's a spirit there. So the easiest thing is to observe and understand when something is wrong, but not to relate that to ourselves. Okay? So let's go through a few scriptures first to go in to get the origin of spirits. We know that much evil was taught in the earth during the time of Noah. It tell you in Matthew 24. Matter of fact, let me not paraphrase it. Let's go to Matthew 24. Matthew 24. And let's start at about the 38th verse. Matter of fact, the 37th verse.
St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 37.
Go ahead.
But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
The Bible says, Yeshua says, as the days of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So that's the parallel. The time of Christ is going to be almost exactly like before the flood. Okay? Now, I know a lot of us out here think that we have great technology and that we are far advanced through time, but you couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, life goes in cycles, and so do technology. The technology and the understanding we have today was actually founded in different burial grounds and different archaeological sites to do the things they're doing today. Okay, a lot of this technology that we see today, and all this understanding, comes from the time of the flood. It's almost to a point where things got so bad that the Most High decided to destroy the whole earth. Just destroy everything, all of its creation, and any animal that was crossly spliced or was genetically crossed. And that same with people. Any people who were tampered with the elements of the fallen ones fell with the fallen ones. And see, and this is the information that's hid through modern theology. they go through great hurdles to hide the fact that the demons or the powers or the gods that fell are the gods being worshipped in modern day religion. Okay? They make it seem as if it was just people being bad with no influence. That's not the case. The Bible says, as of the days of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So what was going on during the time of Noah? Read.
Verse 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking.
They were eating and drinking.
Marrying and giving in marriage.
Now, people get married all the time. So this is not just talking about a regular marriage here. All right? It says they were eating and drinking, marrying, giving into marriage. Also, it's parallel in showing that everyone was going about their life as if life would exist forever. As if they would have time to live a long, prosperous life. Read.
Until the days that Noah entered into the ark.
Until the days that Noah entered into the ark. Read.
Verse 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away.
They didn't realize it until it was too late. Read.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
It's going to come the same way. Okay? Now, as you can see, we're living in a time now where everything is genetically spliced. They're trying to influence creation on every level. Same thing as before the flood. Also, there were animals that were consuming other animals. Super carnivores or mutant carnivores like dinosaurs, Tyrannosaurus rex, and different types of animals that the Most High did not create. These were mutated between reptiles, between sea creatures and beasts. That's another thing they try to hide. That the Most High had to destroy these animals, or these animals would have consumed mankind. Okay? Now, they taught men to do all types of evil. Now, there's a reason that this evil was taught to men. Is that's how you compromise your spirit and yield your spirit to the fallen one. So if the fallen one could get you to sin or get you to go against your creator, then he could control you through your guilt conscience. Through the spirit you're in, they can control you now because you feel in darkness, you feel away, you feel shame. So now the spirit was able to use those who compromised themselves against themselves and mankind. Let's go to the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter. Now we go here because, we go here because it's important that we understand the parallel between our time and the time of Noah, based on the fact that this is one of the signs. And you notice we usually start off our lessons from Matthew 24 and branch out. There's a reason for that. The reason we do this is because we're in the end time, and in order to understand the precepts of the end times, we must go to Christ's last words. What he told us, what he told all of us to understand in the last days. Read.
Genesis chapter 6 verse 1.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when men became to multiply upon the earth.
When men became...
on the face of the earth.
When men began to multiply on the face of the earth. Read.
And daughters were born unto them.
Go ahead.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
So the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. Now those who were in our academy, and that should be all of you. Excuse me, this is a little tight here. Excuse me. That should be all of you. Okay? We went through the lessons of the beginning creation and the fall of mankind. And for those that were in the latest academies, we went into the serpent seed, the fallen angels and the giants. But there's something deeper than that. The next level is the children of those giants. What happened to them? What happened to them before the flood? How did they make it to the other side of the flood? These are some of the things we will discuss today. Why? In order to understand the power of fasting, we have to understand what we're fighting against. That's one of the biggest weapons that Satan used, is the unknown. Okay? Now you have a conscious effort to fight against the spirits who are attacking us daily. And believe it or not, and it's strengthened us to know, they are afraid of us. You notice how through horror flicks and through all the things they show you, they make you afraid of ghosts, afraid of spirit. That's also psychological trauma, so that you can't face, quote unquote, those demons. Like Christ faced those demons. It make you fear them, opposed to understanding how much they fear you. Okay, that's a psychological programming they use to put us in fear of them. All right? So let's go into it. Go ahead.
Verse 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
And they took them wives of all whom they chose. Now it will tell you in the book of Jubilees that they appeared to these women as their husbands, but in greater form. Okay? In greater form, in greater stature. They made themselves look very, very nice, like their husbands on a whole nother level. Read.
Verse 3. And the Most High said, My spirit shall not always strive with man.
My spirit shall not always thrive with man. To show you that this time, the Most High's spirit was still thriving in the earth, even after the fall of Adam. Man was consciously aware of the Most High. There was no element during that time that the Most High, claiming that the Most High did not exist. The Most High's presence was with men before the flood. But through time and through sin and through partying and doing all the things we do now, people started to believe the Most High didn't exist. Read.
And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man.
Go ahead.
For that he is also flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years.
So the Most High limited the time in which he would give mankind time to dwell in the earth. This was twofold. Eventually mankind will go to an age in which they could no longer live past 120 years, eventually. Okay? And also, he was telling Noah that he's going to flood the earth in 120 years. He was letting Noah know a time period. So imagine someone, now at this time, people were living 500 years. Methuselah lived almost 1,000 years. I mean, you would get 200 years, it would be like your body is like 30 or 40. Okay? Even Sarah, in her old age, when she went into Egypt, she was so beautiful, Abraham had to tell them that that was his sister. Or they would have fell on him. They would have killed him. And she was an older woman, but her beauty still surpassed all of the women of the earth at that time. So you have to look at what's going on here. The Most High is now punishing man. Imagine if man lived 500 years, 600 years, and their will is just to do evil. Imagine what would be left if they were able to survive with that type of understanding long. But of course, the satanic powers in this earth understands this, so they just take the program and relay it to their children and let their children continue where they left off. Okay? Read on.
Verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days.
When you look at the Hebrew, it's Nepalia. There were giants in the earth in those days. Now, there was no such thing as giants before then. To prove to you, something happened with these sons of God coming down, sleeping with the daughters of men. Okay? Okay? You've all got the precepts when we went into Job 1 and 6 to show you the sons of God who present themselves before the Most High. 2 Peter 2 and 4. When it goes into the angels that sinned. and were cast down into hell. Okay? We also made statements to prove, and we're going to prove it today, that the angels bound one of the angels called Azazel under what you would call the Great Pyramid, Giza, in the desert Judea. I'm going to prove that today. So now we understand why the Sphinx is on the dollar bill. The Great Pyramid Giza was not built during the time before the flood. And there's proof of that. There's water recession. It's proven that it made it through a deluge. That's where the angel, when you go straight down to the bottom where a rock is slid in place, that's where the angel Azazel is. Okay? He's the one that it's ascribed all the evil when the angels came down and slept with women. Now, as in the days of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be. You notice in the book of Revelation, it talks about a star falling into the earth, or a star falling, and that's a prophecy. To prove to you near the end, during the apocalyptic time, angels are still falling. Just like in the days of Noah. But they hide it through your news programs with saying Comet Elenin is coming, and this comet or that comet, when it's really speaking of fallen angels, and they're explaining it off with the news program so that we as normal citizens of this world don't understand that these are spiritual phenomena. If you understood that it was a spiritual phenomenon, you would probably believe in a God. So they use science and their programming box to actually distract you from the fact that you're living in prophetic times. Read on.
Verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days.
There were giants in the earth in those days.
And also after that.
And also after that. To show you that even after the flood, that there were giants. Now, the reason why it's paraphrased like this is because we're reading the book of Genesis, which is one of the books of Moses. Moses alone had information of the book of Jasher, also that was laid down to his fathers from Jacob on down. He also was shown the beginning of times and the end at Mount Sinai. So these things are recorded. So he says there were giants in the land in those days and after that. Because we all know that Moses went up against some of the Nephilim on the way to the land of Canaan. So another thing we understand, as the days of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be, is that things fall, angels' presence are having an authority over man. And also there's Nephilim in every society on a high level to fight against God's people. So these are they that are at what you would call the top of the pyramid. These are they who are controlling the world. We wrestle not with flesh and blood. That's what Christ said. Now when we yield our spirit, and I'm going to go into that, when we yield our spirit to them, that's the only time they have power over us. Finish reading.
And also after that.
And also after that, that means after the flood. Read.
When the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown.
They came men of renown. Read.
Verse 5. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
So now the Most High is looking down on mankind and seeing that they are operating only to do evil. They're going away from the commandments of the Most High. And this influence is actually seeping into his elect, to the children of Seth. So he's looking at this evil. He's understanding that now Satan have a program that will eventually eradicate the woman's seed. That's the fight against God's people before the flood. Read.
Verse 6. And it repented the Most High that he had made man on the earth.
And we was such a farce. We were doing such evil during that time that it repented the Most High that he created man from the beginning. So you can imagine what we were doing back then before the flood. Now usually this time is recorded in history under what you would call Greek mythology. This is how they hide it, through saying that it's a myth. When you see those old pictures like Dungeons and Dragons and Conan the Barbarian and all those barbaric type of people riding dragons and fighting and all that, all those things that we know didn't happen after the flood. That's where they get that those understandings, that history from. We're going to prove that. That all that history, that dark history, when people were operating all out, was before the flood. Read.
Verse 6. And it repented the Most High that he had made man on the earth.
Go ahead.
And it grieved him at his heart. And the Most High said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth.
So now the Most High is saying, you know what? I'm going to destroy them. I'm going to destroy them from off the face of the earth. Read.
Both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air. For it repenteth me that I have made them.
So what did the Most High destroy? He said he's going to destroy the fowl of the air, everything. Because it repented. Now you have to realize, well, if mankind have sinned against the Most High, why is he destroying animals? They didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, but the Nephilim and those that were following the Nephilim started cross-splicing and damaging and destroying and sinning against the Most High's creatures. Bestiality, all that. Started when you look at the myth of Pan, part animals, part people, all those things, they were doing all types of crazy splicing before the time of the flood. So the Most High, why are you thinking the law? The Most High wrote certain things in the law when we went into the land of Canaan. On our way to the land of Canaan, he gave Moses things that you wouldn't think twice about. Why did he put in the law that you're not supposed to deal with a beast? These are the things that was happening before the flood. He gave us a law written so that we couldn't repeat the things that made us fall before the flood. Dealing with your sister, dealing with your mother, dealing with your father, dealing with another man's wife, and all those things which is according to commandments, against the commandments, were being done before the flood. Okay. Read.
Verse 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord.
Yeah.
These are the generations of Noah.
So now it goes to the generations of Noah, and we all know the story. Noah went to build the ark. While he was building, he was prophesying, and yet few listened. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, there's not too many of our people like you that are here about, 6 o'clock Eastern your time, or 3 o'clock on the West Coast, wherever you might be right now. It's not too many people at 6 o'clock Eastern sitting down with their Bibles open, looking at what's going on in end times, and trying to follow the Most High like you are. That's very rare. So imagine nobody hardly followed Noah. All right. Finish reading.
Verse 9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just and perfect, Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with the Most High.
And he walked with the Most High, which means he was keeping the commandments. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Go ahead.
Verse 11. The earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence.
It filled with what?
And the earth was filled with violence.
We're going to show you how this violence was taught. Okay, and violence is from the devil. Violence is from Satan. Read.
Verse 12. And the Most High looked upon the earth. Behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And the Most High said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
I will destroy them with the earth. So the earth was punished too. At this time, there was only one landmass. The landmass was on one side, and the water or the seas were on the other side, as we see in Genesis, the first chapter, during our creation lesson. So what happens? Water started coming through the earth, breaking up the earth, making islands, making different parts. The whole earth was being destroyed. And that's where you get some of the ruins, the ancient ruins underground of the city Atlantis. Okay, that's where you get the ancient city that they find under the Atlantic called Atlantis. That was the city of the giants. Now, let's see what was going on before the flood. Let's go into the book of Enoch. And I want to read in the book of Enoch what was taught. The agreement that was made, what was taught. And for those who might question whether or not Enoch is canonical or righteous learning. Okay, for those who might question, don't think a man was as righteous as Enoch and didn't have record. Okay, he was the righteous before the flood.
Then it tells you in the actual Bible that they give us that Enoch was translated up into heaven. So he's actually in the Bible, which they lie and say that the book of Enoch has nothing to do with the Bible. It's part of the Bible. They lie and claim that it's separate. That Apocrypha, book of Enoch, Jubilees, Second Esdras, and all that. It's all the Bible. They're lying if they say it's separate. But Jasher and all that.
But yet you cannot read anything about Enoch hardly when it comes to serious detail, in-depth detail within the Bible itself. Why? Because the Roman Catholic Church was over the canonization, and they were hiding the fallen angels, their leaders, and the children of the fallen angels. Their so-called saints and statues they're worshiping are the children of Nephilim, or the children of the fallen angels. So they were hiding Enoch, because if they tell you about Enoch, then they must now start bringing forth information of what the Most High used Enoch for, and what's going on with those spirits that were loosed in the earth during the time of Enoch. Okay? They don't want to explain those things, but for those who question Enoch, if you read Hebrews 11:5, it says, by faith Enoch was translated. That means he did not see death, that he should not see death, and was not found. He became, it says, and was not found, because the Most High, had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony, that he pleased the Most High. So based on Hebrews 11, we all can read that Enoch had a testimony. But our question is, why can't we read this testimony? Why don't the churches that talks about Jesus and pleasing God, why they never speak about Enoch? He was so righteous, the Most High translated him. Before the flood, he was king and priest. It so happened he would come out every day at one point, and he was prophesying, to tell you in Enoch. And then he started coming out once a week, then once a month, then once a year, and then once every 5 years. It was to a point where people were looking for him, he was gone. They went out to hear him, he was gone. So he had this testimony that he pleased the Most High. So he had a testimony. Our forefathers, hey, I'm reading this out of the book of Hebrews in the New Testament. So you can't tell me that the Hebrews did not know about Enoch. We're reading this from the book of the Hebrews. Okay? So we know about Enoch. But someone is hiding Enoch from us. You don't know about the end times if you don't understand before the flood. It's impossible. As in the days of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be. But our society in this earth today have hid before the flood from us and gave us just a story of a guy and his children and a boat and a few animals. That's it. We're not telling us how was society so degraded. Why was it destroyed? Who taught the sin? Who was behind the evil that corrupted mankind? Shouldn't we know that if we're trying to be saved? When you go to the book of Jude, it tells you that Enoch prophesied of the fallen angels. Let's go to the book of Jude in the Bible, which means Jude, the disciple, Jude, knew about Enoch. Let's go to Jude 1 and 6 verse. Let's go to Jude 1 and 6. And that book is right before Revelations. It's a small book. Right before the book of Revelations. Jude, the first chapter and the 6th verse.
Jude, verse 6. And the angels, which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day.
So there were some angels that left their first estate, who are in chains, who've been bound until the day of judgment, according to the book of Jude. Read.
Verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah, and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication, and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire.
Give you another example of a city that was influenced by fallen angels, by spirits, by Nephilim. So through time, this happens through all their societies. They give great technology to a society. They demoralize the leaders and put them in place over the people. They start doing all types of tests on the animals and creation and deal with all types of sacrifice and evil doings. And it comes to a point where the height of their empire, homosexuality, breaks out, and they look to destroy the Most High's creation altogether. And on top of that, violence, wars, and destruction happens to a point where the Most High just say, listen, it's time to halt this. And this has happened in every society. Satan have took a hold on these cities up until our modern time. Let's go to the book, we're still in the book of Jude, and read the 14th verse.
Verse 14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these.
So Enoch prophesied of these fallen angels, according to the Bible. I mean, why don't preachers go into this? You know why? Because preachers are not taught to teach the Bible. They're not set up to teach the Bible. They're set up to go to theologian seminary school, the same as someone who wants to teach math, or someone that wants to teach English in school. You must learn the curriculum that's relayed to the populace or to your congregation or class. It's not set up to teach the Bible. It's set up so that they can continue the perpetual lies that was given to us by slave masters and those that follow Satan himself. Read.
Verse 14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these.
Let's see what he prophesied. Let's read the 15th verse.
Verse 15. To execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them all, to convince them, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him.
And it says, it talks about their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against the Most High. Why? Because people will sin, and then they'll start blaming the Most High. Or they'll come on the other side and say, well, listen, the Most High made me this way. When the Most High have never tempted man to sin. That's in the book of James. Or they'll say the Most High don't exist. I mean, it's weird me even repeating that they say that. But these are the things, these are the hard speeches they make against the Most High. Evolution. The New Age movement, that you're God. That it's okay to do what you want to do because that's what life is about. These are all speeches against the Most High himself. All right? So this is what they taught. And these fallen angels, when they came to the earth, they had technology, they had knowledge that mankind knew nothing of. So what? They were being worshipped as gods. So people started looking at them as these great, what you would call, because they had magic, they had power, they had strength, like superheroes. So mankind stopped looking to the Most High and started looking to them and looking at the technology that these fallen angels were delivering to them. Okay? When it came to how to super beautify the woman, who you think taught that? To make a woman enticing. I mean, these guys were able to do super makeovers to where a woman is already beautiful, but on this side, you look at her after this, and man, she's just floated out of the heavens. All these things were taught. Then war was taught, how to kill a man, how to destroy and kill a man. So let's go into the book of Enoch. First, I want to read this testimony that Enoch left, almost verbatim of what Jude quoted, to prove to you that Jude must have been reading the book of Enoch. Let's go there.
Enoch, chapter 1, verse 9.
1 and 9, paralleling directly what we read in the book of Jude out of the Bible. Now, mind you, Revelations, Daniel, the book of Jude, all these particular books was actually non-canonical until around the 8th century. So my question is, how is it that at one time it was heretical reading? If you were reading Jude, Enoch, or Jude, Enoch, or the book of Daniel in the early hundreds after Constantine, they would have called you a heretic. They tried to make it so that these particular books wouldn't be the foundation of doctrine. So later on, they let them in as canonical. When you get an opportunity to yourself, go to the canonization of the Bible, and it'll give you dates on on what books and when they were canonized. A matter of fact, I'm going to put that together anyway. I had a list of that, but I'm going to put that together again so you'll have it. So it was all strategic. They didn't want these particular books being the base record of the doctrine that they would deliver the world. They just wanted people to focus on Christ, knowing that they would twist the true teachings of Christ and deliver people a new Christ. So they wanted that to be the focus, opposed to the basis of how this earth we're in came to what it is at our time. They couldn't deceive the people if we understood how it happened from the beginning. So they want you to say, okay, let's just focus on Christ. Let me tell you, Christ is the way. Christ is the Savior. Christ is the way. But they had a diabolical plan on just focusing there, knowing that they would switch Christ into their Savior, into their fallen angel. Now, let's go to the book of Enoch,
which is Caesar Borgia, the false image of Christ, posing their homo, gay, and all this. Second son of Pope Roman 6, and Jesus, the letter J didn't exist. That goes into Zeus, or Jesus, and that's Satan, right? No name for Satan. And Jesus is Greek, and Greeks are Romans. Romans killed Christ, killed the disciples, destroyed Jerusalem, was against the Israelites and God. And their God is Satan. So Christ wasn't a Roman, he was a Hebrew, he was an Israelite. Through the Father, through seed and bloodline. Dark skin with white wool hair. Revelation 1:42-15, King James Version. Daniel 10:6, same thing. Acts 13:1-4, disciples, dark skin, called NIG. So people gotta wake up. The law in Christ is law about everything else. The Bible is true, religions are lies. No holidays in the Bible are nothing. No cross associated with Christ, nothing. So that's all idols and graven images. So wake up, man.
Let's see if we can read almost verbatim what Jude quoted.
Enoch chapter 1 verse 9.
Go ahead.
And behold, he cometh with 10,000 of his holy ones, to execute judgment upon all.
Now, Jude says, the seven from Adam prophesied, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints. Go ahead.
To execute judgment upon all.
To execute judgment upon all. I'm at the 15th verse of Jude. Go ahead.
And to destroy all the ungodly.
And to convince all that are ungodly.
And to convict all flesh of all the words of their ungodliness.
And it says, to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds. Read.
Which they have ungodly committed.
Which they have ungodly committed.
And of all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him.
And all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Now, as we can see there, it's obvious that Jude got this from the book of Enoch. That's without question. That's crystal clear. So now, as you can all see, the book of Enoch has validity because the Bible validates it. Now, I see a lot of people going into these different books and have no idea what they're going into. I don't say, listen, I tell people like, listen, okay, but don't come to us with some mess after you went into those books without any guidance. I read all those books. We did it. We took 3 years out and read out all the books. All right, so I'm not going to, and not only that, even some of the stuff that is okay, you got to have the doctrine of the Bible to be able to pick out some of the bones that were placed in them. Or you will go off with that too. All right, but I'll tell you, the book of Enoch is sound. Now I'm talking about the book of Enoch. Now if you start going into the secrets of Enoch and all that, hey, that's on you. All right. We never told you to do that. Next thing you know, you'll be dealing with Enochian magic, trying to ride a magic carpet or something. We have nothing to do with that. We're just trying to stick with the Bible and the books that the disciples read. That the Bible actually show us to go to. That's what we do. We don't go into, even though I've read the other books, I was able to look at it, and by filtering it with the Bible, I knew that, okay, this was it's not right. And then I did the research on it, especially all the New Testament writing. The majority of the New Testament writings, like the book of Timothy. They got another book called the ones that the Muslims want to go to all the time.
Epistle of Barnabas.
The Epistle of Barnabas. All that stuff is 2nd century plagiarism. All of it. I did the research on all of it. All those New Testament. But the Apocalypse of Paul, which actually links in from the Bible suggests that book. Now, I'm going to show that soon too. That's without question. All right, for New Testament. And that's about one of the only ones I really go into to say, okay, you can go into that and get full understanding, links directly with the Bible when it comes to New Testament. Okay? Even there's some good things in Nicodemus, but still, parts of Nicodemus. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things in it because it don't link with the validity of the foundation of doctrine. All right? Because we know that the Catholic Church got their hands on our records. So you have to filter those records with the Bible. But one thing about Enoch, you don't have to worry about Enoch. You go to the first Enoch, translation R.H. Charles, which was actually translated out of the records of the Qumran caves. There's nothing wrong with it. The whole book meshed directly with the Bible. No problem at all. As I read, here's a quote in Enoch, exactly, almost verbatim, what we read in the book of Jude. Okay? Now, let's go into, and let's talk about before the flood and how spirits began to multiply and destroy mankind. And let me tell you, these guys, they're not guys. These spirits that are over the guys ruling, boy, they're on it. This is their job 24/7. I mean, even the creation of the television was part of their mass programming to say, okay, let's do before the flood on steroids. Okay? Let's make it where we can actually influence evil and multiply evil all at once, any place. Okay? And let's use a magic box where we can program. Suppose we can be in everyone's house at one time, instead of waiting for them to come amongst us to try to convince someone in their family to take it back. What if we could just be in everyone's home and just convince them? And we'll play on their individuality to make them believe that what they're learning is something special that actually separates them from the rest. Using psychology, Sigmund Freud psychology, to bring people into the grips and bonds of Satan. So this is what they thought. This is how they brought it forth. But here's the blueprint, what we're reading. What we're reading in Enoch is the blueprint. This is the plan they used. But through technology, they're able to do it on a mass, or what you would call great level. Let's go to the beginning. Linking into Genesis 6 on the fallen angels. Read.
Enoch chapter 6 verse 1. And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied in those days.
Same thing we read in Genesis. Go ahead.
In those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of the heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said one to another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children.
Let us choose amongst them and beget us children. Now listen, angels were not made to have children because they were made eternal. So this is a sin. 2 Peter 2 and 4, the angels that sinned. Now, through Hollywood, they actually push this. They tell you exactly who they're worshiping. They tell you exactly what they're doing. But yet they put it in a form of film so that you can just push it off as someone's idea or just a good movie or entertainment. They had a movie called The City of Angels, where Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage, he was the so-called guardian angel, and he fell in love with her, and they made this elaborate love story until you're sitting back cheering for him to fall to be with this woman, right? And his fall meant her death. You notice that? His fall, the next day after he dealt with her, meant her death. And now he was left on earth, separated from the rest of his fall of the sons of God, who seen him and knew that he was once amongst them. And you look at it as a movie. But let me tell you, they know. They know. Okay? Read.
And Simjaza, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear you will not indeed agree to do this deed.
Go ahead.
And I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations.
Let's bind ourselves by mutual imprecation.
Not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing.
Go ahead.
Then swear they all together and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And they were in all 200, who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon.
So they all agreed to do this together. 200 of them, and they all went down from the heavens as stars from heaven on to Mount Hermon. Similar to what you see with Paramount Pictures when the stars are going through the clouds, and then it comes around the mountain, and it forms a circle around the mountain, showing you the fathers of Hollywood, those where they get the fallen angel ideas. Hollywood is an ancient Druid or Celtic wood used to cast spells. So those from Hollywood are telling you who their leaders are, who their gods are. It's in their movies. Right? Read.
And they were in all 200, who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon.
So 200 came down. Go ahead.
And they called it Mount Hermon, because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And these are the names of their leaders.
I don't want to go into their names. I don't want to deal with that right now. Let's just go into what they taught mankind. The verses of what they taught mankind.
Verse 7. And all the others together with them took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one.
This links directly to Genesis, the 6th chapter. Go ahead.
And they began to go in unto them, and to defile themselves with them. And they taught them charms and enchantments.
They taught them charms, enchantments.
And the cutting of roots.
The cutting of roots, that means making root.
And made them acquainted with plants.
Made them acquainted with plants, the different works of the plants. Go ahead.
And they became pregnant, and they bare great giants.
There were Nephilim in those days. There were giants in those days. Read Genesis, the 6th chapter. This is how the Nephilim came to be. Read.
Whose height was 3,000 ells, who consumed all the acquisitions of men.
They started consuming all the acquisitions of men, which means when it comes to the fruits and the food and all the things that our people, that God's creation, the Most High's creation needed, they started eating all those things up and started hoarding them things and making men slaves when the land belonged to the people. But now, men started slaving for these giants. Same thing. They started hoarding all the goods. Sound familiar? Read.
And when men could no longer sustain them.
When men could no longer sustain these giants, read.
The giants turned against them and devoured mankind.
They started eating people. Cannibalism. Oh, you thought Jack and the Beanstalk was a myth. Where you think they get these stories?
What was that one show again? Percy Jackson? Just Greek mythology in general. That shit's real, bro. That shit ain't fake. They just switch some things up. Like, they'll just lie on certain things. Like, Greek mythology, Greek gods are fallen angels. Demigods are really just Nephilim or giants. Their sons, half part human, part whatever, fallen angel. Fallen angels are the gods, quote unquote. That's where paganism comes from. As the Bible says, they worship the creature over the creator. They worship angels over the actual creator. Yeah. And people call these things Anunnaki, aliens. You know, UFOs come from them too. That's their technology. So people gotta wake up, bro.
Bro. These orgs and all this. And you notice how they're making it passe where your children endear themselves to orgs. Like Shrek. Like Barney. A fallen, a cross-spliced creature from the fallen angels. Read.
And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind.
Let's see what the fallen angels taught people.
Chapter 8, verse 1.
Read.
Right quick. Fallen angels taught, it originated from magic. All this magic stuff comes from fallen angels. So I already know how some people be thinking there's good and bad magic. All that shit came from fallen angels. I don't know what you're saying, but what is this? The letter J didn't exist when Christ was alive. And that false image of Christ is Seja Bojai. Look it up. Second son of Alexander. Second son of the Pope Alexander VI. Pope of Rome. Poisoner, killer, murderer, and all that stuff. Then Jesus is Greek. Greeks are the Romans, and Christ wasn't Roman. He's a Hebrew. He's an Israelite. His name was in Hebrew. And the Bible tells you in Revelation 1:14-15, the Bible itself tells you he's dark-skinned with white hair. Daniel 10:6, Revelation 1:14-15, disciples, Acts 13:1-4. They were called Niger at the church of Antioch and all that stuff. Moses and all that turned leprosy, turned back to the original flesh, blah, 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 right? So I don't know what this guy's talking about. Even the cross in the pictures, the Bible tells you in the Law of the Commandments, don't make no image of anything in heaven, in the earth, under the earth, or none of that stuff. It's sin. There shouldn't even be an image of Christ anywhere, or a cross, or none. No, that's sin. So, people better wake up, bruh. Christ was an Israelite. You remember, the Israelites were in Egypt. They served and ruled in Egypt for like 200 years. Obviously, they were all dark-skinned people. You know what I'm saying? Israelites didn't turn white. Oh, man. And Jesus is just not his name. The letter J didn't exist. Again, the letter J didn't exist. That's a modern letter. Right? The Bible is real history. Like, when Christ was alive, IRL, the letter J didn't even exist. So, the disciples in Christ wasn't casting out demons and devils out of people with Jesus. That's not possible. And Jesus is Greek, and Christ wasn't a Greek. He was a Hebrew. He was an Israelite. He was a Jew. So, his name is Yeshua. That's Savior, the Savior in Hebrew. Yeshua. So that's his real name. And the Bible tells you have to know the Most High is in Christ's real name in order to be saved. And the Bible tells you how can they know me or be saved without a preacher. That's exactly why I'm telling people the truth now. Because how can they know without a preacher? So there you go. Then Christ said, Christ said, don't even think it for a moment in your mind that I came to destroy laws or prophets. So it destroys that free grace. And Christ said he came for his people, not the damn world. Then Christ said, I came not to do my own will, but the will of the one who sent me, the Father in heaven. So they're separate. Exodus 3:13-14 with Moses. He gave his name, the Most High, the Creator, the Father. He always existed. He's the Father. Christ is the Son that was sent. Most High is always on his throne, right? Ahaya, Ashur, Ahaya. That's ancient Hebrew Venetian. That's the original Hebrew, by the way, not Yiddish Hebrew. Ancient Hebrew Venetian. That's the original Hebrew. God of the Hebrews, right? Ahaya, Ashur, Ahaya. Then in English, I am that I am. Then for short, he gave the short version, I am, which is just Ahaya. So, Ahaya, the Creator, the Father, the Son, Christ Yeshua, the Savior, Mother, and they'll try to give you that Holy Trinity, which is nowhere in the Bible. The Bible tells you it's the Godhead, the three witnesses in heaven. That Holy Trinity is Babylonian, is not in the Bible, has nothing to do with the Bible. It's satanic and pagan. It's the Godhead. Father, Son, Mother, Father, Mother, Son. That's how you create life. That's family. Not three dudes, right? Holy Spirit is a she. The Bible tells you that. She is wisdom and all that. Comforter, whatever. So, people don't read the Bible, bro. Alright? Gotta get baptized, follow all the commandments, follow the holy days, not the holidays. No holidays is in the Bible. That's all paganism and Satanism. December 25th wasn't Christ's birthday, bro. The Bible tells you he was born outside in a manger and the shepherds were feeding their sheep, grazing their sheep outside and all that stuff. You can't do that in the dead of winter in Israel. They would die. The baby would die, the sheep. You can't do that. It's not possible. So, people gotta wake up. And they wouldn't be grazing their sheep in December anyways. They stopped doing that at towards the end of October. So, and if you do the research on December 25th, that's Nimrod/Talmud's birthday. And in Ezekiel 8:13, it tells you about that Talmud is an abomination, right? That Talmud, women weeping for Talmud, it says Talmud in the Bible is an abomination to the Most High. And if you look up Talmud, he was born December 25th, and that's the original virgin birth that was there thousands of years before Christ and Mary was even born. That's real history. The Bible tells you Christ's father is Joseph. The Bible tells you that the Most High God said an oath to King David that Christ will come through his seed. Men make seed. That's sperma. That's sperm. The Bible is translated. That means sperm. And the virgin has the Bible is translated. That word virgin was never even there. It's young maiden. Right? They program us to think it has something to do with sex. It doesn't. Virgin birth, it means young maiden, actually. Then it's only a term used for women. It doesn't. It's a woman of age. It has nothing to do with if she had sex or not. I think in Deuteronomy 22, there was a woman called a virgin, even though she dealt with other men before in the Bible. So, and you can't even call a man a virgin in the Bible. It's only a term used for women because it's a woman of age, so they can have children. People don't know any of this stuff. Hell, I doubt people even know the Bible's even... Well, they should know the Bible's translated. But they should know that, at least. But, you know. People are just programmed through religions, that's all. They don't know shit. You know? So... Bro, wake up, man. Christ said, "Me shall come in my name," saying, Christ, or whatever, right? Christ turning people around. Then that's a whole nother thing. Like the Bible tells you it's Satan's world. Satan deceived the whole world and stuff. Christ was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, and Satan showed him all the nations of the world if he bow down to him, follow him, or whatever. Bible tells you 90% will fall and 10% will be the remnant, right? When that will be saved. Then another precept to that. This is all the Bible. Look it up. Look up everything I'm saying. It's biblical. It's all in the Bible. I'm just not giving you the exact verses, right? Also, the precept that Bible tells you broad is the way to destruction and the narrow straight path is the way to the kingdom. If you will find that. Broad means majority, and that goes into it's Satan's world. The Bible tells you that. When Adam partook of Satan's fruit, Adam had dominion over the whole earth. That dominion went to Satan when Adam did that. Right? Yeah, that means the whole world knows something, does something, thinks something, go the opposite way. Because that world is Satan. because only 10% will be saved. So, because you already know the programming through this satanic society. Like society and all the shit is Satanist. It's Satan, right? It's world's of sin. You already know how people think, and you already know how people are programmed. Like, okay, Christ, right? Christ is white. He's Jesus. He has the cross. It's the Bible. It's Christianity. That's all lies. Virgin birth, Easter, December 20th. That's all lies. That's Satan. Christ said, "Many be the end times, the signs of thy coming, the end times, or whatever. Many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many." Who else is coming in Christ's name deceiving many, other than Christians or any denomination of Christianity like Catholics or Jehovah's Witness or whatever? No one else is doing that but Christians. So people gotta wake up. Spamming some freaking white Jesus. It's like these people are demon possessed pagans. They'll just type some shit and leave before, like, it's a demon. Like, when you're bringing forth truth and somebody just wants to come in here and leave, they don't want to hear the truth, then they want to come back after. It's a demon, essentially. So, people are demon possessed. America, the habitation of devils. Christ, according to the Bible. Talk about some white Jesus and shit. Christ looks nothing Christ looks nothing like that, bro. The Last Supper had there's 12 disciples in the Last Supper, right? But in the fake Last Supper, it had 3 women, because that's the Bourget family, bro. The Caesar Bourget family, Chester, Lucretia, or whatever. Then who was the other guy? Her father, Rodrigo Bourget, his father, right? I think. You got his father there 3 times. Caesar Bourget is there 3 times. His sister's there 3 times. I mean, there's 12 disciples, but yet there's 3 women in the damn Last Supper. You have Adam and Eve and all that, all white and naked. Ridiculous. Alright, it's all lies. Adam came from the dust of the ground. He was dark. He was brown, man. The first white man was Esau. In Genesis, Isaac's son. That's the first white man, bro. Well, he was red, but he married into the Canaanites. I guess technically the first white man when he married into the Canaanites and had a kid. Who was that? I forgot his first kid name, but whatever. Esau. But that's essentially the first white man, Esau. So, I don't know what to tell people, bro. When Christ returns, it's going to be gnashing of teeth. Talking about some white Jesus. Hey. The Bible tells you everybody will see Christ on his return. So tell me if you see white Jesus when Christ returns, man. Tell me.
And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives.
So Azazel taught men to make swords and knives. Ascribe war to Azazel. I don't know if any of you back in the day seen the movie Fallen by Denzel Washington. And let me tell you, they use Denzel Washington for all their fallen angel pictures. They used him in Deja Vu, showing how you can go back in time and all those things, and that machine that they had. It's the same machine they have in France in different areas in Europe. They were claiming at one time that machine was so that they can actually mimic the Big Bang. It's a lie. It's a Stargate machine. It's a travel machine. That's what it was the whole time. So all these things were these things come before the flood, brothers and sisters. You think it's technology now, but these guys were doing all types of things before the flood.
That's funny, because in the new Superman movie, right, he created this pocket dimension, and he claims he was trying to mimics the Big Bang, but really it's a Stargate. If you watch the movie, they it's a portal. They go from one place to the next place. So even the movies are using it's basically just Here's the problem with movies, though. Because the movies, they tell you the truth, but they also lie at the same time. So unless you have the truth, you're going to be deceived one way or another. So you can't fully believe these movies. But yeah, Superman movie. Oh, he mimicked the Big Bang, but in reality, it's just CERN. It's just portals, right? That's all. A particle accelerator or whatever. It's just portals. It's Stargates. That's what it really is. Ain't no damn mimicking Big Bang. What is there to mimic with a Big Bang when it's literally just you going through portals? I don't know. So it's crazy.
Read.
And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives.
Make swords and knives.
And shields and breastplates.
Shields, breastplates.
And made known to the metals of the earth.
Go ahead.
And the art of working them.
And the art of working them. So he showed them about the metals, all those things within the earth, how to dig out the metal, how these metals affect mankind, how to sharpen them, how to do certain things with them. Go ahead.
And bracelets and ornaments.
Bracelets, ornaments.
And the use of anatomy.
And the use of anatomy. Go ahead.
And the beautifying of the eyelids.
And the beautifying of the eyelids. That means shaping up the eyes and having that look and doing certain things that actually makes you an individual outside of everyone else. It's teaching individuality. That's what they were doing. Like the arching of the eyebrows, the paint and all that. The extravagant paint over the eyes and all those things. That was taught by the fallen angels. Read.
And all kinds of costly stones.
And all kinds of costly stones. Showing them how to cut the diamonds, how to make them shine and all those things. Because we know that the fallen one was covered by all these precious jewels. So now they're teaching people to make these jewels and these diamonds precious. To value them. When really, we should be more valued than a piece of rock. Okay? Read.
And they coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness. And they committed fornication.
So now it's going into what happened in Genesis the 6th chapter in detail. Go ahead.
And they were led astray and became corrupt in all their ways. Simjaza taught enchantments and the root cuttings.
So one taught the enchantment. Go ahead.
And the armoros, the resolving of enchantments.
And the other one taught how to get a root or what you would call a when they put a root on a person or put a curse on a person. Simjaza taught how to put the curse on, and another angel taught how to get the curse off. See, and this is a lot of our people deal with this. You go to these little witch doctors or these little guys and say, listen, I want to do something against a person. They're getting this from Simjaza, the spirit of Simjaza, or demons
Fallen
who
angels.
taught that, which were the children of Simjaza and the angels. And then you go to another guy that says, I think someone got a curse on me. Can you give me something to take it off? Another one taught how to take the root off the person. And of course, if you're under Christ, none of these things have power. But if you believe in them, and see, we're in the system that teaches you to deal with the laws within this earth. If you believe in them, they have power over you. Read.
Simjaza taught enchantments and root cuttings. Armoros, the resolving of enchantments. Barak Jael taught astrology.
So one taught astrology. Read.
Kakab the constellations. Ezekiel, the knowledge of the clouds. Arakael, the signs of the earth. Shamsael, the signs of the sun. Sarael, the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven.
So, through time, because first it was all good. The people had the technology, they were having a good time. They were learning things they didn't know before. It was all good. But then the same powers that gave them this technology began to consume them. Sound familiar, right? Now these free people were now enslaved by the fallen angels and demons and Nephilim. Okay, this is what happens. It's crystal clear right here. And now people are praying to the Most High now. Like, can you do something about this? But yet we took their technology. We reverenced them. It's a two-edged sword, so to speak. Right? So now the people have learned all types of things, and now there's party, chambering, evil, witchcraft, sorcery, you name it, it's going on. Men have forgot the Most High. That's what we're reading right here. So now they're praying to the Most High. So what did the Most High do? He looked at the righteous man that was in the earth and said, okay, it's time to get Enoch. Okay. It's time to get Enoch. What we're going to do is we're going to have the son of, we're going to have Noah get prepared that ark, and we're going to have Enoch prepared to judge these fallen angels. Now, let's see the judgment of so-called Azazel. Let's get that judgment of Azazel. Chapter 10, and let's start at the first verse.
Enoch chapter 10 verse 1. Then said the Most High, the Holy and Great One spake, and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech.
Now this is when Enoch was translated before the Father. Read.
And said to him, Go to Noah and tell him in my name.
Go to Noah and tell him in my name.
Hide thyself, and reveal to him the end that is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed, that a deluge is about to come upon the whole earth, and will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world.
So this is what happened. This is the conversation in the heavenly realm before the Most High sent the angel to warn Noah, to tell Noah to prepare a way to hide himself, which was the ark and his family. Read.
And again, the Most High said to Raphael.
Then he said to Raphael, Rapaya Allah, go ahead.
Bind Azazel, hand and foot.
Bind Azazel, hand and foot.
And cast him into the darkness.
And cast him into the darkness.
And make an opening in the desert.
And make an opening in the desert.
Which is in Judea.
Which is in Judea.
And cast him therein.
And cast him therein. Go ahead.
And place upon him rough and jagged rocks. And cover him with darkness. And let him abide there forever.
And let him abide there forever. Go ahead.
And cover his face, that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment he shall be cast into the fire, and heal the earth which the angels have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth.
Go ahead.
That they heal the plague, and that all the children of men may not perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons.
Go ahead.
And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel.
Read it again.
And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel.
The whole earth have been corrupted by what was taught through Azazel. Azazel taught the war and the evil. Okay? Now I have a document right here. It talks about the Giza plant and what's going on with the Great Pyramid. Also, I've seen documents to show that at the bottom of the Great Pyramid, at the top, the same distance from the top to the bottom, there's a rock slid in place that no one can move. There's a tunnel there, and no one can move it. The desert Dudael is where the Great Pyramid Giza is. And see, and that's why, till this day, the all-seeing eye on their money is showing the Great Pyramid. It was the only pyramid that was built before the flood. Pithom and Ramesses were built after the flood, but not the Great Pyramid Giza. That's where Azazel is. Okay? So when your diplomats and all that be coming to Egypt, and they did come to Egypt not too long ago, they had a big meeting at the pyramid, and it was closed down so that no one can come through. It was closed down for all the high illuminates. They were actually worshiping Azazel. All right. Now let's see what came of the Nephilim. This leads us to the key part of this lesson. Let's go into the judgment of their children. The Most High told Enoch what would happen to their children. Now, when the fallen angels understood, you can read this on your own, but when the fallen angels understood that the Most High would eventually judge them, they asked Enoch to petition. They petitioned Enoch to go before the Father to ask for mercy and entrance back into the heavenly realm. The Most High said no. He says, listen, how can they send you before me when I sent them to minister to you? I sent them to you. So how could they in turn use you to come to me? He says, no. He will not let them back in. A matter of fact, he's going to punish them and he's going to bound them in Hades. And their children, I'll tell you what's going to happen to their children. Now, this is the origin of demons or spirits. Before this, there were no such thing as demons. Okay? We all talk about demons and see how Christ cast out the spirits. We're going to talk about that in a moment. The influence they have, what they do, and how when someone is so-called possessed. We know the stories, but yet we don't know the origin of it. We see the Catholic Church always coming through. You notice the Catholic Church is in all these particular movies linked to these so-called demons. And you think they're casting them out. When really they're telling you, listen, they're together. They're all together. Christ wasn't performing exorcisms. Christ was casting demons out. Exorcisms is an agreement with the spirit. Another demon agrees to go against that demon in that person. But eventually the higher demon can go in. So you think it's a miracle, but that person still can get it if they don't find Christ, if they don't find Yeshua. Exorcism is an agreement between two spirits. Casting out spirits is getting rid of them all together. Those are the two differences. Okay? Now, let's go into the book of Enoch and show the judgment.
Enoch chapter 15 verse 1.
We're in Enoch 15 and 1. Read.
And he answered and said to me, and I heard his voice, Fear not, Enoch, thou righteous man and scribe of righteousness. Approach hither and hear my voice, and go say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent thee to intercede for them. You should not intercede for men. You should intercede for men, and not men for you.
So you're not supposed to be sending men to me. You're supposed to be going to tell men what I say. But the angels were afraid, and they knew that Enoch was righteous, so they asked Enoch to petition the Most High for them. And see, that's another problem that the fallen spirits that control your governments, that's another problem they have with the Most High's creation, us, is that we get second chances. We get third chances. We get our whole life to come to the Most High. But they only have once to go against the Most High because they're made eternal. There's no excuse for them. They're made eternal. There's no business. They don't have no business having children. Why? Because we need children to continue after we're gone. Angels don't need that. They're eternal already. So let's see the judgment on their children. Read.
Wherefore have ye left the high, holy, and eternal heaven, and lain with women?
You laid with women.
And defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, and taken to yourselves wives, and done like the children of earth, and begotten giants as your sons. And though ye were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life, You have defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and have begotten children with the blood of flesh. As the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also do who die and perish. Therefore have I given them wives also, that they might impregnate them, and beget children by them, and thus nothing might be wanting to them on earth. But ye were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you.
Go ahead.
For as for the spiritual ones of the heaven, in heaven is their dwelling.
Go ahead.
And now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh.
Now the giants who were produced from the giants and flesh, read,
shall be called evil spirits upon the earth.
shall be called what?
Evil spirits upon the earth.
Shall be called evil spirits upon the earth. That's your origin of demons. That's where they come from. They were from the children of the fallen angels and the women. See that?
And those women were cursed for laying with the fallen angels, and they became sirens. That's what you get your mermaid. They try to dress up literally demons as something good. They always try to do that. That's what you get your mermaids from. They try to make them look all nice. Those are demonic sirens, accursed people from pre-flood, right? So if you can go do the research on them, Jamaica, Caribbean, they be seeing those crazy, evil-ass looking things. They be dragging people into the water and shit. Real stories, bro. They got real videos, too. But, you know, people would say everything's CGI, even though it's not everything's CGI, bro. Some of those videos are actually real videos. It's just they look ugly. They don't look good. So when you see some, like, supposed mermaid video of, like, a fine-looking that's not a real video. They look demonic. They look spiritual. So they look evil looking. Those sirens, which people call mermaids. So it's in the Bible.
So there's no other explanation for them. People talk about spirits, even those who claim that this didn't happen. But my question is, okay, if that didn't happen, then where do the demons come from? If this didn't happen, why are you preying on people and trying to cast out spirits? Where did those spirits come from? Here's the explanation. The Bible is telling you. Enoch is telling you. Read.
Evil spirits shall they be, evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies.
What chapter and verse?
Enoch chapter 15 verse 8.
Go ahead.
And now the giants who are
and the Bible talks about Enoch in the Bible. Christ, Jude, I forgot the rest, but they talk about Enoch, how he was translated up into heaven and all that. It's in the Bible, so.
Produced from the spirits and flesh shall be called evil spirits upon the earth.
They shall be called evil.
The Nephilim, dead spirits. But yeah, the Apocrypha is part of the Bible. So there's 80 books in the King James Version Bible, not 66.
Evil spirits upon the earth. Go ahead.
And on the earth shall be their dwelling.
And this is where they will dwell. Go ahead.
Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies. Because they are born from men, and from the holy watchers is their beginning in primal origin.
Go ahead.
They shall be evil spirits on the earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. And as for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling, and the spirits. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth, on earth shall be their dwelling. And the spirits of the giants afflict.
They afflict.
Oppress.
Oppress.
Destroy.
Destroy.
Attack.
Attack.
Do battle.
Do battle.
And work destruction on the earth.
Now here's the key point here. These are all the things they do to keep trouble stirring. These are all the things they create in the earth to keep pain, to keep destruction happening. But here's their weakness. Enoch is going to tell you their weakness. And listen, this is why the Catholic Church don't want you to know this. Read it.
They take no food.
They take no food.
But nevertheless hunger.
But they hungry. Read.
And thirst.
And they thirst. So they're suffering. ever since they fell, because they were insatiable.
And that's where you get your obese people from. So these fat obese people, they're demon possessed. Alright? So
They're spirits that desire food and drink, but it's never satisfied. So what do? When you see a person gluttonous and they're obese, that's a spirit trying to fulfill that insatiable appetite.
Yep.
This is what they do. So the key...
And people always sit back and say, how can a person eat that much? How is this possible? Hey, it's a demon. Spiritual, bro. Spiritual warfare.
Here's the key point that would make them leave you alone and go someplace else. If you don't eat and drink, if you fast, if you go days without it, they'll try to find someone else.
Yep.
They will look for someone else. That's one key. They can't stay in a body that's fasting and praying. Why? Because you have no need for the flesh. You're killing your body. So as your body goes, they cannot do anything. They can't act out none of these actions. You're too weak to fight. You're too weak to curse someone out or fight against someone or try to go against someone. You're actually calm. They can't use you. So they had to create an environment, a society in which they can roam freely and just jump into anyone they want, knowing that the majority of people have yielded themselves to the fallen ones. And
Yep.
the majority...
Bible tells you, America, the habitation of devils. In these major cities, all these idols are everywhere. And those idols, which people think are just statues or art, have demons in them. Kind of like gems in the bottle. There's demons in them. Or idols, it's like communication with spirits. So all these gargoyles, lions, all these idols and objects of worship and graven images and religions, it's all demonic and pagan. So it's a whole nother thing. Your Euphrates River drying up, shit like that. They giving us drugs, TV. Okay, take this drug or medicine, and you get thoughts of suicide. How am I getting thoughts of suicide? Hey, people wake up, bro. Tells you in the Bible too that these spirits, they make people dumb, blind, crippled. Hey, sick. Demons make people sick, give them diseases. Hey. Healthcare system, bro. Bro, watch out, man. Witchcraft in the Bible tells you there's pharmaceuticals. Poison, witchcraft, sorcery, so. Hey, man. Bible says herb cure all things. You need vitamins and nutrients. You don't need no drugs. Drugs make you worse. So don't trust in no healthcare system. That shit's ran by Satanists to systematically destroy people, so.
People don't even believe Christ is real. The majority of people are so caught up into insatiable appetites, McDonald's and all these things that they have. That's why they set up a system like that. So that they'll have hosts. So that they'll have free hosts every place. It says they hunger and they thirst. That's the power of fasting. That's the power of fasting, because these spirits need us to operate their actions. Right? Read.
And cause offenses.
They cause offenses. Read.
And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men.
And it says they shall rise up against the children of men.
And against the woman.
These people, oh yeah, that's another thing. These black-eyed people, bro, when you look at them, that's demon possession. They're possessed when you see that shit. Or like when you look in the mirror and you see something, like your eyes just black for a moment, signs of demon possession. Anger issues, gay/trans people, all that, they're all demon possessed. People who don't listen to logic or facts, they're just like, it doesn't matter what you tell them. It can be proven through everything possible, and they still don't listen, even though, weird. When people think of like weird, oh, this guy's weird, he's weird, weird this, weird that, he acts weird. crazy, and all those people are demon possessed. These murderers, criminals, our governments, our top 1% at least Freemasons, popes, they're all demon possessed. White smoke, black smoke ritual, which is nowhere in the Bible that the popes do to pick the new pope. It's Babylonian and satanic. It's the same demon going from person to person, right? These homicides and stuff, when people do crimes and they like take themselves out. Look at the swines. When Christ cast out the legion on the island, Christ casted out all those devils into the swine, and the swine just fell off the cliff and died. It's because they have to kill the vessel so they can leave the vessel and leave the vessel, right? You have to die first. That's where you get all those freaking suicide things. That's why people do suicide, so the demon can leave. The demon's in control, bro. Hey, people better wake up. Oh, he's just crazy. Oh, he's off the edge. Oh, he's on blah, 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 blah. Even if he's on drugs, that's how you get possessed too. Drunk. You get drunk. You do all this stuff. First of all, you blacked out. Don't remember nothing. You wake up, all of us, they're telling you, oh, you did this, you said that. While you're not, you're literally unconscious. That's a demon. Drugs, weed, and all this. Who was that? Einstein, Nikola Tesla. They have satanic pentagrams around their house. They do cocaine. Demons give you knowledge and power, bro. These are Nephilim. If you're a man, if you're a human, when you die, you go to await judgment. These ghosts, people be calling them ghosts and shit. They're demons. And these demons are Nephilim. They've been here since pre-flood. 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 years. They have all kinds of knowledge. That's way more advanced back then than now. Steve Jobs talking about he went to some India in some mountain, and all of a sudden he had knowledge of iPhone because a demon. It's like, bro, Nikola Tesla, satanic pentagrams over his freaking house, 5.6 point star, just like the star in Jewish people, the Romans over there. They're Romans, that's what they are, according to the Bible. He wrote that everywhere, conjuring up demons to get knowledge. Same thing with Einstein. Take drugs, cocaine, shrooms. You connect with demons. You get gateway drugs, gateways, weed, and all that. You open yourself up for demons. For New Age, New Age. Fucking meditating, calm mind, inner peace, or where the fuck they open up chakra. It's all to get you demon possessed. They're looking for vessels. Demons are everywhere, and they're looking for vessels. So people gotta wake up, bro. You got like all these hybrid experiments, Frankenstein, and all this other crap. There's a movie coming out where Frankenstein has like a wife and shit, and because when somebody dies, when a person dies, their spirit goes to judgment. They're waiting judgment. So if they're trying to reanimate a body, that body has an empty vessel. Then a demon can just come in there. That's why all these dog man, Bigfoot, they're just demons, right? What they are. Chimeras, dinosaurs, whatever. Demons. So of course people don't know this because society doesn't teach you shit. So
woman, because they are proceeded from them.
Because they proceeded from them. So they're going to be used to attack us. We have to pray to the Most High to be delivered from them, because they will be in this earth until Christ come to take them out. Speaking of that, an example of that, let's go to Matthew 8 and 29. Yeshua running into one of the children of the fallen ones, who we know were once Nephilim but are demons now. Now let me tell you, in Ephesians 6 where it says we wrestle not with flesh and blood, even though they fear those that are in Yeshua, let me tell you, they are the leaders. Our so-called elected officials do all types of rituals to have these spirits come before them for ancient wisdom. and ancient knowledge. You got some out. You got some rich people. They'll go to East India or one of these Asian countries and get themselves what you call a sharma or a wisdom teacher. These are they that are linked directly with demons to let them know the past, the things they've experienced since the flood, all the way up into.
Bro, it gets so deep. You got people talking about some reincarnation in past lives. Bro, I'm telling you right now, if people are claiming that they see past lives, they are possessed out of their minds. Alright? You're seeing the past life of that demon that's in your damn body. That's what you're seeing. You ain't seeing your past life. I tell you that. So, I don't know, man. Bible tells you, man has only once to live. Then the judgment. So, you better make that shit count. No fucking YOLO, no none of that garbage. See, that's another problem with society. YOLO and all this. Living, oh yeah, New Age. The Satanism. Live in the present. Forget the past. That's garbage. You don't do that. Because that goes into YOLOs, and you fornicate, you do drugs, or you do something that you shouldn't be doing. Then because YOLO, right? Live in the present. You don't care about your future. So a demon gets in there, and it ain't gonna get out. Why would it leave? Nobody's You have to have Christ's real name, Most High's real name. Everybody's talking about some Jesus. That's not Christ's real name. Demons ain't scared of that name. And who's fasting? You have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Who's fasting? Nobody's fasting. So, and you can't get exercise. That ain't gonna do shit. They put another demon in you that's worse than the last one. Christ was casting out demons. He wasn't exercising demons. So, I mean, bro, people gotta wake up, man. That's exactly why in the Old Testament it was death when you sin, bro, because sinning gets you demon possessed. Right? Trans and homosexual, that's a spirit, that's a demon. That's not some natural sexual preference. That's a literal demon. People don't understand. I'm telling you, bro. Murdering somebody, a demon. Cain and all that stuff. Satan was in that dude, bro. Judas, Satan was in that man. Like, people gotta wake up, man. I'm telling you.
Till now, they use the knowledge to become powerful over the ignorant. But for a price. It's for a price. Right? Let's go to Matthew 8 and 29.
St. Matthew chapter 8 verse 29.
Read.
And behold, they cried out saying, What have we to do with thee, Yeshua?
So Christ ran into a guy with the spirit. He wasn't talking to the guy. He was talking straight to the spirit. This guy was so ruthless that no one would dare mess with him. They couldn't chain him down. He broke chains. Spirits. Now you notice we're in a society now that they put spirits on you. That's what your inoculations and all those things are about. They put the demons in you. They put spirits in you. Sicknesses are demons.
Yeah. I don't want them going into them. I don't want to get struck down because that's the key to their freaking madness. They do that shit through the hospitals and doctors and shit. Because I'm telling you, that's why the whole world is under Satan. They're giving you demons. Your brain is messed up, or you just unalive altogether. You know. And then if you do survive through all that, through the grace of the Most High, you're being programmed out of your mind through everything possible. Healthcare system, educational system, TV, society. It's all promoting sin, holidays, religions. It's all promoting sin and paganism and debauchery. They're normalizing sin and paganism. And paganism is worshiping fallen angels like Satan. And you could be as ignorant as possible. It doesn't matter. You know? You could be a good person all you want, but if you're following religions and holidays, you're following Satan. Doesn't matter how nice you are. You're just ignorant. God's people that for lack of knowledge. So, you got women crying, oh, my autistic child is so hard. It's like, bro, you trust in the oppression and stay they're on. God's people die for lack of knowledge. Since you reject knowledge, I will shall reject you and your children. You know, like, stop believing in a satanic system. Voting and shit. Like, the Bible literally prophesies America's destruction through nukes. The Bible literally calls America Sodom and Gomorrah and Egypt and Babylon all together. Mixed. Like, I don't know, man. People trust... If you trust in Satan, hey, don't come back crying when you destroyed. Or your kids are destroyed, alright? Because that's the system. That's the whole world. That's it. That's the governments, man.
You're dealing with mental stress. You're feeling depressed. All these are spirits. All those are spirits. So instead of being prayed over or getting to the root of the spirit so that you can be free, they've set up a pharmaceutical grid that...
Oh, hold on. This is the part where I gotta skip it because I'm not getting striked.
Spirit asked Yeshaya, have you come to torment us before our time? Read.
What have we to do with thee, Yeshaya, thou son of Ahiah?
What do we have to do with you, Yeshaya?
Art thou come hither to torment us before the time?
Have you come to torment us before our time? So they know the judgment, because when you read Enoch, it goes into the judgment that when Christ returns, he's going to judge those demons that came from the fallen angels. So now I understand Matthew 8 when the spirits looked at Christ and say, have you come to torment me before our time? Yeshaya wasn't talking to the person, he was talking to the spirit in the person. Then now the spirit that took over that person's vessel is the one speaking. You might notice this all the time, or to some degree, if you see someone who've been institutionalized and they're walking around speaking to themselves and all that. That didn't happen to them before.
And just hospitals, they'll try to call you bipolar, schizophrenic, I don't know what else they be saying. That's all garbage. That's demon possession. Then they'll give you drugs for that? That's what they do with these drugs. They suppress the demon. You know what's funny too? Sometimes the demon would actually just leave. Right? You don't have to fast or cast it out. It would just leave sometimes. But with all these, these drugs just suppress it. It ain't going nowhere. So, antidepressants and all that shit, bro. Like, if somebody's on antidepressants, you in big ass trouble, bro. I'll tell you that. You in big trouble. You ain't gonna last that long on some antidepressants.
Before they went into the institution. It's the institution that used these places for all types of secret things. And they put demons on these people.
Yep.
That's a perfect example. These people are out of their mind. You look at them like they're crazy, but really...
Yep. Then, they show you in media how in all these insane asylums or whatever, they show like how what they be doing, bro. It's funny how people always try to ignore like the Bible and all that when there's literally video proof. But there's videos that are like literally like 40 years old that you can't edit or CGI, and it looks too real to be CGI as well. Like straight demon possessed people, like that's why they kind of normalize it and stereotypicalize it, right? Through movies, so you'll think it's just a movie or something. When I won't lie, some of these movies they lie. They basically do the left-right paradigm. They lie, and they give you truth. So, that's like some of their programming. You just gotta know how...
The spirit have taken over their vessel. So Yeshaya experienced that. He spoke right to the spirit. He didn't speak to the person. Because the person is bound. The person needs to be released. They need their vessel. They've been taken over. Okay? So the spirit recognized Yeshaya and says, have you come to torment us before our time? To let you know that there's more than one in that person. Read.
Verse 30. And there was a good way off from them an herd of many swine feeding. So the devils besought him, saying, If thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine.
He says, if you cast us out, why don't y'all cast us into this herd of swine, to show you that spirits can hide out in animals too. As long as it's a vessel, as long as it's an earthy vessel or something that's material or alive, they can hide out amongst that too. He could have cast them into the earth. Okay? Down there where their fathers are. Right? Read.
Verse 32. And he said unto them, Go. And when they were come out, they went into the herd of swine, and behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea.
So you notice that once it's in something, the reaction happens almost immediately. Violence, do battle, attack. No sooner they went into these swine, the swine ran. Read.
And perished in the waters.
And perished in the water, to show you that the end of usually whatever thing they deal with, whatever vessel they deal with, usually the end of it is death. Okay? So now, they wanted to go into the swine, because the swine was near where Christ was, and they say, okay, and they drove the swine into the water. Why? Because once the animals die, they can go and find hosts. They didn't start in that man that Christ seen. They didn't start in that man. That was just a host. What were the swine? The swine were just hosts. So they killed the swine so they can go find people. And this is how they operate. Have you come to destroy me before our time? So that's letting us know that they have a short time. They know that one day.
Read this. If you're in the stream, read the text. Pretty sure you can see that.
Their time will run out. It's just how many people they'll take with them. So
that's a whole nother thing. These demons, they know they're going to hell, so they'll just try to take as many people as they can with them. Then some of these people like Amalek, which are over the whole world, they're trying to take as many people as they can with them to hell, so that's why they're evil.
Understand that they only have a certain amount of time to operate. They're just making us believe that we have more time than we have. But they know. All right? Now, let's go to Matthew 12. Let's start at 43, when the unclean spirit is going out of a man.
Verse 43. When the unclean spirit is going out of a man.
When an unclean spirit is going out of a man, read.
He walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none.
This usually what happens after baptism or cleansing, or after serious fasting. What happens? The spirit leaves you.
He walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none.
So now that same spirit is operating and trying to find a place or a vessel to go into, and can't find no one to go into. Read.
Verse 44. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
So they always decide to come back to their original host.
And when he is come, he findeth it empty, and swept and garnished.
To show you, spirits be watching us. They'll look at us, and they know when you clean, when you're trying to do the right thing. But they're watching from the outside. Read.
Verse 45. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
So here it is. He understands that you have the power to get rid of him because he's on the outside. So instead of coming to you with one now, he's going to bring 7 of his brothers with him. Read.
And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto to this wicked generation.
So that's crystal clear. Now Christ, Yeshua, was giving the disciples examples of how the spirits operate. What they do. Okay? Now, how does this translate to us? Because we know they be on the outside watching, looking to get in. So Yeshua gave the disciples key information so that they can battle them. Usually, I'm going to tell you, they usually come in through some type of emotional trauma. That's when they usually gain entrance, when your emotions are at a height and your guard is at a low. I'm going to give an example of that. When someone is doing something against you, or when you try to do something back, that's when you know, okay, it's starting to affect me. That the spirits just need a way in. And it usually starts by an attack, battle, or an offense. Somebody did something to you that had the spirit. But when you do it back, now the spirit is no longer on that particular person. Now, it's easier to explain than to execute when it's you're the one being done wrong. Okay? You can explain it once you sit back and examine it and talk about it, but when it's you really, no one can tell you that, okay, something is happening with you. Actually, a spirit is about to use you. See, and if we all, not just you, if we all operate like Christ told the disciples, when it happens, there will not be murder. Because usually, hey, listen to some of the stories of how when people get killed. It's usually something that's small happened. And but somebody had to go.
It's true. I watch some of those cops in crime on weed. They get drunk. They get possessed by demons, bro. I've heard all these stories. I don't know. I got drunk. I was just on top of them strangling him. I don't know. Somebody gave me some bad weed. I don't know, man. That's just examples, but I'm telling you, no getting drunk, no freaking drugs, none of it. Don't do that. Then sin too. Sin, like everybody knows what sin is. Don't play games. That shit gets you possessed too by demons.
The next yard, and then the person whom was offended or got hit or hurt, now they gotta go the next yard.
Well, hold on. Sin, by the way, is breaking the laws. By the way, because people know what sin is, but I guess they don't fully know what it is. It's breaking the laws and commandments in the Bible.
And now somebody's
More than 10 of them, by the way.
dead. The spirit that got a soul to hell. Now the spirit is looking for another person to go into to do the same thing, perpetual. It's a cycle. Because once you out, they don't need you no more. And then they go find someone else. You out. So this is how it works. So Christ gave us details in Matthew 10 of how not to let the spirit come in us, even if we see it. Let's start at Matthew 5 and 3. All Yeshua's writing.
St. Matthew chapter 5 verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when ye shall revile, when men
shall revile you, persecuted for Christ's sake, thrown to jails and all that. People gotta wake up, bro. You think Catholics and Christians are persecuted? The whole world knows about that shit. You know, everything's cool until you start telling the truth, right? You can be a Christian and Catholic all you want, but when you tell the truth, the actual Bible, not religion, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Everybody's against you then. That's how you know it's truth. So,
shall revile you,
when men shall revile you,
and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake.
And say all types of evil things against you falsely for Yeshua's sake. Read.
Verse 12. Rejoice and be rewarded. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Now you can do one or two things. You can react to what someone is doing to you, or you can understand that this is part of the trial. This is part of what it takes to make it. If you get caught up into it, what's going to happen? You understand? That spirit is now going to use you. It's going to go further into it. Read.
Verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing but to be cast out, and to be trodden under foot of men.
Let's go to the 21st verse.
Verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not kill. And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
So we can't be angry. We can't be angry with our brethren, no matter what the case is. Because why? Anger leads to all the things that the fallen angels were teaching, and their children was teaching, right? Read.
Verse 22. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
Go ahead.
And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say...
When it says Rakah, it's not Rakah. It's talking about vain fellow. When you look this word up, it's vain fellow. Or just saying, well, this person doesn't matter, or this person is a fool, or just being condescending to your own brother. That's what that's speaking of. I want to go into one thing clear on this. Let's go down to the 38th verse to show you more fruits of knowledge to know how not to let another spirit jump from one person into you. Because believe it or not, it might be for a moment that the spirit is in the person. It don't live in the person. It just got in the person during a point of anger or a point of emotional stress. So it's just there to cause a confrontation so that somebody get taken out. That's what it's there for. You understand? When you go to the beginning and look into their origin, you know that they deal with those moments. Why? Because the spirit, when you read the book of Enoch in the 15th chapter on, it lets you know that one of the curses is that spirit will be in them so that they can eventually destroy each other in a great battle. It's what the Greeks call the clash of the titans. They killed each other off through war. And that's the spirit behind all these wars we see today. All these countless people dying for nothing. It's the spirit of the titans. So it's the same thing. That Titan story is correct. The clash of the titans is actually written of in the book of Enoch. The curse was that their sons would end up envying and hating each other and fall out in war and kill each other. But their spirits would not dwell in the earth or in heaven. They will be dwelling within the earth as demons or spirits. So these spirits operate a moment. They're just looking to get somebody killed. And then after that, you sitting there looking like, man, I don't know what I did. Why? Because you were taken for that moment.
Exactly.
Or, I don't know what I said. I don't know why I said.
Exactly. Here's analyzing crime, bro. All these people who do these things, they say the same shit. You know why? Got a demon possessed. You know? Then after the moment's gone of anger or offense, or you're angry or you want revenge or something, somebody did you dirty so you want revenge, after that moment's gone, you come back to your senses, like the demon leaves, is like, what the hell just happened? Now you're in too deep, it's too late. Then all just like the demon one, chaos is about to happen now. Oh, you turn yourself in, KYS, or you're on the run now, you gotta still kill a lot. Hey, that's what demons do, bro. Look at the movie Fallen, Fallen by like Denzel Washington, like what, 1999, 1998? Good example, bro. All kinds of chaos because the demons just running around in people. So, and Israelite, Denzel Washington, Hebrew, he started connecting the dots. Like, hold on, this is like all these different types of people are doing the exact same thing, doing the exact same crimes, and they're all just killing them. KYSing. Huh. Interesting. Hey, nobody can connect the dots but the Israelites, you know what I'm saying? Hebrews.
That you were taken for that moment. You didn't mean those things. You didn't mean to do those things, but that moment is when they strike. Read the 38th verse. Let's start with 37.
Verse 37. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay.
Why did Yeshaya say, let your communication be yes or no? Read.
For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil.
Anything yes or no coming from evil. I know people sometimes want to say, well, you know, I don't know. But really, you're trying to get around being straight. So, first of all, if you can't do something, just say, I can't do it. No. If I can do it, say yes. Because if you can't do it and you say no, the person might be mad at you, but at least you didn't tell them something and didn't do it. So now that keeps down the anger, keep down the fighting. Christ says, let everything be yes or no. That's it. You try it that way, it'll be less strife. Stop trying to be negotiable all the time. If you don't want to do something, if you can't do it, not if you want, because sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. But if you can't do something, it's okay to say, you know what, I can't do it. No. Christ says, let it be no or yes. Everything else is strife. Now, the world is not used to operating like that.
Everything else, when it says that, everything else genders anger in arguments. But your yay be yay, nay be nay, yes or no, man. You know what I'm saying? No philosophy or trying to dodge the question or, you know, get, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause people do that shit a lot, bro. They won't come at you truthfully. They won't. They'll say all this crap. Like, people don't know how to be truthful nowadays, man. They'll dance around the question. That's a demon, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you, what do you believe in? Are you a pagan or not? Do you believe in God or not? Stop dancing around the question. You know, they basically just want to answer the question. They'll just dance around that. And you're just trying to figure out, okay, what do they believe in, bro? You know what I'm saying? They're just dancing around. You know why they're dancing around it? Because they know they pagans. People can pretend all they want about, oh, the Bible's this, that. You know the Bible's true. Keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. If you genuinely, in your mind, think the Bible's not real, you possessed by demons, or you're like a little ass kid or something. Straight up, so. Wake up, man.
Right? Finish reading.
Verse 38. Ye have heard that it has been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.
It was said in the Old Testament, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But what?
But I say unto you,
that
you resist not evil.
Resist not evil.
But whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other cheek also.
It's talking about your brother. Okay? That means not to sit there and be getting slapped up. It ain't saying that. But it's saying that, listen, you must forgive. That's what it's going into. Forgiveness. If your brother do something to you, you know what I mean? You know, you got to give him another chance. Or you got a choice if someone do physically smite you. You can smite them back and someone end up dying, or you can walk away. Is your pride more important than your life? Christ told them, he said, listen, I can call 5 legions right now and take care of all of you. I can wipe all of you out.
It's true. Some people getting in these fights, they don't realize that you can actually kill somebody. Then what? Now you're going to jail, and now you're really about to be a demon now. It doesn't take much, bro. You hear a person in a certain way, they fall in a certain way, hey, you just murder somebody, bro, for nothing. You might as well just move on, bro. If that person's doing wrong, the Most High is gonna judge them. You don't got to do the judging, you know. Let the Most High deal with that. If that person's doing you wrong, you don't have to fight nobody. You know, because that's how demons be getting in, bro. Revenge and all that stuff.
But did Christ say anything when they were putting him on the cross and they were smiting him and destroying him? These were spirits operating. So you got a choice. I know a lot of so-called brave people who stood there to fight and was taken and were put 6 feet under. And they were probably the one that was in the right and end up dying. So Christ is letting us know how to operate in this time. You got to learn to agree in certain situations. Say, listen, you know, you're right. You know, I don't want no trouble here. When it comes to the authority, the same thing. Listen, I don't want no trouble here. You know, I got my Bible. I just want to praise. I want to praise the Lord. Okay. Somebody smite you on the cheek, and that's enough. Dead wrong. It's like, you know what? If I say something, I'm going to say the wrong thing. I'm not going to say it. Go ahead. Say it. I'm not going to do it. That's what turning the other cheek is. And then they get so angry, the spirit will just leave. And the spirit is going to do this until Christ destroys them. This is what they do. But look how many people they have taken down that path. And those people receive the judgment before the fallen ones, before their children. There's more. Read.
Verse 40. And if any man will sue thee at the law,
if any man sue you at the law,
and take away thy coat,
and take away thy coat, because some people get mad, but you're going to sue me, you're going to do this against me. Read.
Let him have thy cloak also.
Listen, you can have it all. What else you want? Okay? Listen, I didn't bring anything in this world. I'm not attached to this world. If that's going to make you feel good, going into court and doing all those things, Christ actually touched on all the areas in which spirits can jump into a person. Money, time, someone hitting you or violating your space, someone trying to take you to court. He touched on all these other areas, knowing that if you can hold your vessel, even if someone is coming against you, then that's going to be the spirit that's going to have you endure to the end. You know how many people are going to be doing things to you as we go through these last times? You don't want to be taken over a futile or a simple argument that could have been solved by you just walking away, and you got work to do, and you got more things to do. All right. So I just wanted to go into that because I wanted to go into more so the origin of something to understand the power of fasting. Matter of fact, let's get that. We tell you that some come out not but through fasting and prayer. Let's get that in Matthew 17 real quick. When the disciples tried to cast out one spirit and they couldn't do it. And they asked Yeshua, well, why couldn't we cast out that spirit? It was easy for you. He says, well, some cometh not out but through fasting and praying. All right? It's hard to cast out some spirits if we haven't purged the spirits in us. So fasting and prayer is essential if you're going to a hospital, if you're going someplace that you know you need to heal a person and anoint a person. Let's get it right here. Read the The 18th verse on down.
St. Matthew chapter 17, verse 18. And Yeshua rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour.
And the child was cured from that very hour.
Then came the disciples to Yeshua apart and said, Why could we not cast him out?
Why couldn't we cast him out? I'm going to tell you, and I hate to go into these so-called vaccinations all the time, but I'm telling you, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I gotta skip that. It's true, but yeah. Yeah. Damn, they going to do
Why could we not cast him out?
Why couldn't we cast out that particular spirit? Go ahead.
And Yeshua said unto them, Because of your unbelief.
Because of your unbelief. You can't go into a situation not believing that Yeshua is going to use you for that specific purpose. You must believe wholeheartedly. If you have any doubt, don't go in. Read.
For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
Is that defying the law of gravity? Is that defying the law of physics? That's what Christ did. If we tap into the impossible or the invisible, he can make ways for us. And this is how we're going to do it in the last times. But that's a whole nother lesson. Go ahead. Howbeit?
Howbeit, this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting.
This kind of spirit we battling right here can only go out through fasting and prayer. To show you there's levels. Okay? Because when these spirits leave, they're looking to what? They're looking to eat, drink, deal with their insatiable appetite. That's another thing. When we find ourselves eating too much, that's another barometer to know that, okay, there's a spirit operating here. Sometimes you have to just eat a little bird food. Have some nuts, have some fruit, raisins. Just have little things to nibble on so that you're not becoming a gluttonous. Because that's another way they try to attack us. Alright? Alright, with that, I wanted to go into this lesson. All praises be to the Most High, in the name of Ahaya, Bahashim Yeshaya. I hope
Most High in Christ's real name.
This was some fruit for the Spirit that you can use. With the precepts and with the understanding in your life going forward. With that, let me answer a few questions here. What is the questions? I heard that went pretty good last night on the show. We thank the brothers, I think from the Texas area, right? Mm-hmm. We thank them for the show last night. Inviting another lawyer was pretty good. It don't say in particular why the pigs. I guess they wanted to get into the quickest thing going because Yeshua was ready to cast them into Hades. One other thing I wanted to read. I need you to get Romans 1:16 and Romans 2:10 real quick. Someone says, what if someone does you wrong? You forgive, go back to friendship, and they do you wrong over and over. You forgive them 77 times 7. That's what Yeshua said. You forgive them 77 times 7. Now you don't have to put them in a position to keep doing the same things. That comes into, share abuse. You don't have to put them in a position to abuse you, but you can forgive them and not feel any evil towards the person. You understand? Let's get Romans 1:16. Read that.
Romans chapter 1 verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of the Most High unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek.
It says to the Jew first and
Yep, to the Jew first, then to the Greeks. The Greeks are the Romans, and the Romans are the Jewish people. Wake up.
also to the Greek. I wanted to mention this is because we got to learn to be at peace to all men. Okay? Get Romans 2 and 10. Let's read that. I wanted to get that also.
Romans chapter 2, verse 10.
Read.
But glory, honor, and peace to every man that worketh good.
To every man that worketh good. Read.
To the Jew first, and also to the Gentile.
To the Jew first and also to the Gentile. To show you that these principles not only applies to those who are Israel. These principles apply to the Bible says, as much peace lieth within us, be at peace with all men. As much lieth within us, be at peace with all men. They don't just apply to the children of Israel.
Yep. I'm about to stream. About to stream later in like 30 minutes, but read the Bible, bro.